Alright, this is episode 3 of the Panopticon, oxygen not included. When last we left our intrepid dupes, I was looking to start building a lab in this space. So I got the size picked out, we got a little bit of a water issue, so I'm going to dig out, I don't know, that much I guess, space. Because I want the flooding to stop. It's the short version. And the fastest way to resolve that is by digging out these holes. Oh, we've got meat. Okay, well if we've got meat, we should address consumables. So something you want to get on early. You don't want your dupes eating basic non-processed foods, right? Things that can be processed. So nutrient bar can't be processed, so sure, eat that away. Milk root can't be processed, eat away. That can be processed, that can be processed, that can be processed. You know, don't eat stuff that we can process later. Now, that said, I'm probably not gonna get a grill done anytime soon. So that meat is probably going to spoil. But I've more food than I need, so there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to get a fridge built anytime soon. So I guess it's going to spoil. We're going to put you... I don't know. So we need lights. The lab needs ceiling lights. Right? So we're going to put one there. And okay, so here's one thing I don't like about this game. The tooltip for the build ceiling light, right, is blocking my view of light. And I gotta zoom in and out. It'd be nice if I could just turn those off. And I don't know of a way. Maybe there is, but if there is, I don't know how to do it. So, and it'd be nice if the light that's going to be built was like projected, because I gotta stick my finger on the screen now and go, okay, yeah, well, it's there, so I want you here as my next one. I don't need this one, but I'm gonna stick it on there anyway. Connect, connect, connect. The voltage on those, the wattage on those is very, very small, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, we're gonna put you here. Now we're going to build our supercomputer. I'm going to build you here because I want to put some art in between. Do I want to put some art in between? Sure. We'll put some basic art in between. And we're going to want this. Let's stick it there-ish. Yeah, if y'all could get on with the mopping, that would be phenomenal. I wouldn't need more. Ugh, okay. So this is why you'll see me, like, when I build wires across, I'll scroll the screen, because it guarantees that my hand is not going to randomly move up or down a square. I'm clearly not an artist. I don't have that kind of precision motor control. And here's some bonus copper, so let's grab that while we can. I feel like you guys are not picking up industrial. But you're supposed to be. Alright, well. Let me put it here now. Put it here now. Let's keep you on the digging, and let's keep you on. None of that really matters, but having field research is going to be useful because there will be geysers, however you want to say that, We're gonna have to be hitting them up fairly soon. It's all done. What is our power usage at? 330, okay. So nothing. So what I'm doing there with Rowan is the improved construction. All it does is gives you additional speed. It doesn't give you any additional skills like new skills, but it's every point of construction is like an extra 10% speed, which is great. Look at them go. So you need to breathe, right? So that's our lab. So the lab itself is, like, it just has efficiency bonus here, which is unhelpful. So to see what the efficiency bonus is, you know, here, lab works with 10% speed. But also, because it's lit, get 15% from the light. So it's an overall 25% boost in speed. Which is great. And I have to admit, before they introduced the labs, I never bothered with lights. Like with I guess I never realized they gave a work speed bonus. Like if my dupes are running around building stuff, I'm like, why do I need lights? They're happy running around in the dark. So I just left it alone. I only built lights when I had crops that needed light. But in building this lab, it kind of then led me as a player to realize, wait, people do stuff faster if there's lights. Blah, 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 blah. We have an illness? Oh, we had an illness. It was probably just slime along. Maybe food poisoning. Not food poisoning. If it's food poisoning, I'd know about it. People would be vomiting everywhere. Alright, so, yes, I want to deconstruct that research station. I'm not doing it right now because I want to get the early research out of the way, and having a second station really speeds that up. Granted, I don't have a second to prioritizing research, so it's not really happening. But you know, you never know. They might suddenly decide they've tidied up everything they need to tidy and start doing that. Unlikely. But that said, these storage bins are almost full. Oh, we got a new dupe. Okay, what do we have? Okay, here we go. We got 3. Ranching. We don't have anyone ranching. And I want ranching. And I don't care about shabby dressers. That's fine. Yeah, I don't care about ice. So, Meep is on the way. Again, 3 skills. We are some ways away from Nah, I could set up critter ranching pretty quickly. So the reason I want ranching is hatches. So my main power production is going to be, like not is, but is going to be coal. Right? And hatches poop coal. So I'm going to want to set up some hatch ranches. So I'm going to need people with the ranching skill. Okay, over here. Why did I build these two here? I built these two here because these have a depth of 4. These are only half full. I don't want to dig all this down. Like, well, I mean, I do want to dig all this in, but when I do, they're going to be out of water. So I won't be able to use them. So that's why I did that. I'm going to build platforms I can walk on to get across to those once I research them. I want liquid flow tiles, which are here. No, that's not correct. That's nonsense. Where the hell is liquid flow? Here are liquids, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there we go. Oh, I have them already. Mesh tiles. I didn't realize I had them yet. So now I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to build some mesh tiles. And the reason I want mesh tiles is because I don't want them to block water, and also I'm going to have bottle emptiers, because like see all these bottles of water we have just lying around, I want those to be emptied into here, into this pool. That's what I wanted. There we go. I want them empty into that pool. So you can either build a single bottle emptier, like on a single tile, so it empties off it, which is just awkward and inconvenient, because then you've only got the one, or you're building in some strange mix. Where you've got a tile into the gap and a tile into the gap. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, wait, why are you making life hard for yourself? Whereas the simple thing is, if you do meshes, the water will just pour straight through the tile. 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's reverse it so it tips the other way. And it'll just pour through the tile. There you go, done, simple. So here we go, we've a meep with no research skill doing some research. Which is grand, that's what I wanted. I wanted 2 people to go at once, but you know, whatever. Alright, so just plural water, maximum priority. Why did I build 6 of them? Seems silly, right? You only need 1, it'll get done, right? Well, no. So the thing is, they can only empty out 200 kilos at a time, whereas a dupe, which means only 1 could be good at a time. But here we are, so now we got multiple dupes going at a time. Also, 1 dupe could potentially be carrying well over 200 kilos of water. And if they're only carrying, if they're only going to one of these, see, they'll put in 200 and have to run back, get the next one, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And they'll only queue a job once that finishes. Whereas this way, if one dupe comes in with like 600 kilos of water, they'll go 1, 2, 3. They'll fill in 3 at a turn. 3 at a go. So having multiple bottle emptiers avoids, you know, a bottleneck on on that and allows them to do it much more efficiently. Alright, here's a complaint about this game. I always really like this game. I really dislike that what the scroll wheel does changes on different screens. So on this, it zooms in and zooms out, right? But if I go to skills, it goes up and it goes down. Can we have some consistency, please? Right, just keep doing the same thing. It's frustrating. Very minor complaint, but, you know, having my scroll wheel do different things when it feels like it should do the same thing, because I need to scroll up and down on the research screen as well, right? Like I need to go up and down. It would be nicer if that context didn't change, or if I had to press Control when doing it, like Alt or Shift. So notice all Control, Shift, and Alt do is they just disable the button. They don't change it. Could have had a Control scroll there for zooming, right? Or vice versa. On the skills tree, you could have Control and scroll to zoom. Or we could have had it as zooming on both and then Control and scroll to move up and down. You know. There we go. We got two people doing research. Excellent. Let's get her done. Okay, basics. Alright, basics are done. So now we're going to move toward refrigeration. And I'm just going to click here just to get all three of these selected at once. There's a mod that queues research that I've not subscribed to. I might at some point. Because I dislike having to constantly jump in and out when, like, I know what I want, just give me the thing that I want. Like it's kind of hilarious. You can just go click and they'll just work their way through 90% of the tech tree using whatever machinery is available, right? That's kind of funny, but it's also a terrible idea. But I'm going to do that. Now if I'm going to do that, these two machines are now the main thing. Don't need this anymore. It's in the way now. Because I want them to... I'm going to have two researchers, but they're both going to be using these two machines doing different kinds of research. Okay. Do we have toilets yet? We do. Let's get rid of all these. I wish there was a quick mark all of these as just acknowledged. Like, I know, go away. I've seen it, I understand. I've also played the game hundreds of hours. I don't need to be notified all this crap every single goddamn time. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm a bunch of idle people. Now, it used to be if dupes were idle, you get a warning would pop up here. So now it's kind of hidden away on the right-hand side. I don't know that I like that change because I don't notice it as much. And that can be dangerous when a dupe like builds themselves into a corner where they're going to suffocate in, or they're just not going to get access to food or whatever. I liked the early warning of idleness popping up as an actual warning, because like the starvation or the suffocation warning may not give you enough time to go save that duplicate. So On the other hand, it doesn't always need to be a warning, right? So I've got mixed feelings about the idleness being moved over here. But just a heads up, this is something you want to be aware of. So, like, I didn't even notice the idleness message here. What I noticed were these two schmucks just wandering about going, I have nothing to do, I'm just going to wander. I didn't even notice this idleness thing here. So we don't want them to be idle. We don't have time to be idle. Like, getting rid of the whole bullshit Protestant work ethic nonsense. We're on an asteroid, right? We barely have oxygen, right? We're running out of food. We just simply can't afford to be just wandering about with nothing to do. That's a no-go. Okay. So, there was talk of a kitchen. Right, so let's look at our kitchen options. So our kitchen can be a maximum of 96 tiles. So the options are, like, if we build it on top of one of these, it's gonna be wider, right? Because it can be. This is like 15 internal tiles, like horizontally speaking. Like if we were to put a wall here and a wall here, it would be 15 across. If it's full height, that's only 60 tiles, right? And we have 96. It can be 50% bigger. So if I build it over here, I'm going to lose the stairs on both sides, right? Like one of them will keep going and one of them will be blocked off. And I will be sad about that because I just spent all this time moving all this over one over to get this thing back. But on the other hand, I have stairs right here, so I could build my kitchen right across the top here, like here. Which actually, I think I will. But then it's gonna be weird, right? It's gonna go to here, and I'm gonna have a bunch of empty space, which is, I don't like that either. Conversely, I could use the empty space, the extra space, for more storage. So you know what? I'm going to do that. And in fact, I'm going to build this up to here. And then my kitchen's going to start down. It's going to be weird. It's going to be ugly. Right? There we go. 2. Let's zoom it across. So I need 96 tiles. I love the little summary tool here. It's really helpful. So there's my 96, my internal. I'm going to block it off here, but I'm going to keep that going all the way across. So now I've got a spot here for storage, and I've got a spot here for storage. Part of the reason I want to do it this way is I'm going to build a mess hall over here. I want my mess hall to be close to my kitchen because food has to move between the mess hall and the kitchen. Also means I'm going to have to deconstruct these power machines and build them someplace else. It's only just occurred to me now that there's a lawnmower outside, so I guess we'll see how that affects the recording. Hopefully not very much, but we shall see. Alright, let's copy those settings. I guess I can just build over, I don't need to separately deconstruct. Oh, we got skills as well. I mean, if that blocks out the audio, well, I guess it blocks out the audio. So we've almost got this kitchen set up. Similarly, we want to have light in the kitchen because we want things to be done in a speedy fashion. Now, I'm going to put refrigeration right by the door. Oh, guys, you're killing me here. I want a gap of 4 between these lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Do we have? We do. Excellent. So we're gonna put 2 fridges right there. And notice we've already got these set to harvest, right? So some of these are going to get harvested right away. I don't think there's any bristle blossoms because it just lacks light. We're now at 840, which is fine. Farming, supplying, operating. So something that is useful if you're a new player, you're not going to know. But supplying and operating is a key combination for later in the game. So having someone pop up like this is extremely useful. So in the supplying and operating, and I'll show it in a minute, like this digging skill is a fantastic bonus that actually jumps me ahead because I don't think we have a super duper hard digging, the tier 3. Pretty sure we don't have that yet. This is really good. Narcoleptic, ugh, that's a major liability. I've had dupes die because they've been suffocating in an area with not enough oxygen and they're running home and they fall asleep. That dupe is dead. That's the end of it. They're dead. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm very anxious about having a narcoleptic dupe. But anyway, they have great skills. So let's pick that out. And now that I've popped in, here we are, G. So if we look down here, we have this thing called mechatronic engineering. Now you only need operating to get the heart on this, but because you also need these skills, this is going to save us, you know, another 2 morale point hits in order to get to this. And I think we're going to start off with operating because we don't have anyone operating. Why do I care about this? So this is, you cannot build conveyor rails without this skill. And conveyor rails are you know, like conveyor belts. You know what a conveyor belt is, right? It's an automated way to move stuff around. They are extraordinarily useful later on in the game. And by later on in the game, I mean like in about 2 or 3 hours of gameplay from now, right? So even pretty early in the game, they're extremely useful. Oh, that is way too loud. You're killing me. So we're going to be generating so much debris from stuff that we're mining that having people manually move it from point A to point B is just a colossal waste of time, because your dupes will have to run to the spot, however far away it is, pick up however much they can carry, run all the way back to the supply bin, drop it off, and then off they go again and back, and right? Whereas, if we take a quick look at our research tree, quick, he says, here we are. So here, look, here's the conveyor rail, right? It's really early in the game. Like I don't need any. I've already got the research things I need for it. It's not built out of refined metal, it's built out of just regular metal. So what we can do is, these auto sweepers are like vacuum cleaners in a set spot. So you build them in a spot and they hoover up a bunch of materials and then they will spit them into something. So that could be a supply bin, or it could be a conveyor loader. And if they spit them into the conveyor loader, now they're going to be shipped off via conveyor rail to wherever you want and then dumped out on the floor, right? And let's say you dump them out on the floor where you already have a bunch of storage bins. Well, that means now your dupes, in order to fill those storage bins, instead of having to move, like, they don't have to, instead of having to run half a kilometer away to pick stuff up, run half a kilometer back and dump it in the bin, they now just have to move like a couple of tiles, a couple of steps to pick up stuff, put it in the bin, a couple of steps, pick it up, you know. So you're saving massive amounts of time by doing that, by building these rails. Or around all those storage bins, you have another auto sweeper set up, which as stuff gets dumped out on the floor, the sweepers then suck it up again, but then spit them into the bins. So you automate the whole process from start to end. So the gateway to that's blocked off is having conveyor rails. And in order to build the conveyor rails, you need somebody with the mechatronics engineering skill. And notice here, so operating is it boosts your machinery ability. Your machinery is how quickly you do operating tasks. But in mechatronics, it also gives you a plus of construction, so it actually speeds up how much you construct things. So your perfect mechatronics engineer has supplying, operating, and building as their favorites. That's like the perfect dupe for mechatronics. Which, you know, good luck. I think I've seen them once. You know, they can show up, but you can't, you should not hold out waiting for them. It's more like if you see this combination, jump on it. Or building and operating as well. Definitely jump on it. That's a great combination. Okay. Anything else I want to do in this one? I think I'm gonna wrap up this episode here, because we've got our kitchen started. I think let me just lay out the kitchen real quick and then we'll wrap it up. So for food production, my usual process is I have 2 of those and then I have 2 of those. And that leaves me with plenty of room for other stuff to put in the kitchen, because there's 2 more cooking based machines. There's the spice grinder, which I never use. I build it? I build it just so this room gets marked as a kitchen, because it doesn't count as a kitchen until it has a spice grinder. I don't care about the spice grinder, right? And the thing is about having a kitchen is it only enables it. So, I mean, this is silly, but it's good to have a set location where food is built. So, aside from the game's designation, it's good to have an actual kitchen. And the second thing for food building here is the gas range. So I'm going to want room for that as well. What are you? Oh, things I've never used because they're relatively new. Juicer. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here I haven't actually used that I think I'm going to try and use in this playthrough. So yeah, so I want room in my kitchen for the gas range as well, because the gas range is really good. It gives you like amazing food, like food with ridiculously high benefits. Now, these micro butchers are actually very power intensive. They're 240, I believe. Yeah, 240 watts. So these together, that's 480. The grills are quite low. They're only 60. So we've got 240, 240, and 120, plus the fridges, which are, I think, 120 each as well. Food, yeah, they are. So these 6 buildings together is 480, and 120 is 600, and another 240, so it's 840 watts. I cannot run these off my existing power grid. Can't. Just can't. Right? Because those 4 buildings that I haven't hooked up are going to be another 600 watts. It's going to be murder. Like it's just going to fail. If you go over the load, like if your load exceeds the 1000 watts, the limit of this wire, the wire gets damaged. It burns out and has to be replaced. So you basically start consuming, in my case, copper ore. It just gets consumed, which is bad. Basically, it's bad. You don't want to do it. You cannot afford to do that, because you know you're dealing with finite resources all the time in this game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build. I gotta move these anyway, because I want my hall, like my food area, eating area, to be over here. Because the mess hall and the great hall, look at this, +6 morale, right? That's a gigantic bonus, right? You absolutely have to have a great hall. I don't even bother with the mess hall. Just give me a great hall straight away. I can't get the benefit from right away, but I don't need that +6 morale right this minute. I need that +6 morale for, you know, 2 to 4 hours of playtime down the road from here. Because look at my dupes, like they're nowhere near. Look at the morale, right? They've plenty of morale. Their need is low, right? It'll be a while yet before I start bumping into that limit. So these power machines, I think I'm gonna move down here to the right of the lab so I can build the Great Hall over here, because I want to be able to move stuff from these fridges to, and I'm gonna have a fridge in the Great Hall. So I want the 2 places to be close together. So again, I don't want dupes spending, you know, 40% of their day running around long distances, just doing and only getting in a couple of tasks. So that means I'm going to need a second power setup, which I'm going to build above the kitchen for the kitchen, as long as we're doing this manual stuff. So let me build these here before I forget. And we're going to lay them down here, right? I'm going to build these here, and then I'm going to want out there, and then we're going to do a third plant is in the way. So that's the thing. That's another kind of inconvenience in the user interface here. Is you can't put a building on top of a plant. The plant has to be dug up first. I guess on the one hand, I mean, that prevents people destroying plants they might want by accidentally overriding them. But at this point in the game, I'm like, no, just I don't want the plant. I just, you know, just build it on top. I want to plan out my building. So now we need copper wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan this here, but I'm not going to connect it because I don't want to cause my. Well, I guess I can connect them because they don't use power when they're inactive. And then these are going to connect to here. That's fine. And then these ones are going to connect to here. So one thing that RimWorld does well, that I kind of wish Oxygen Not Included did, is the ability to like pack up a building. Not deconstruct it, like break it down into constituent parts, but I could put this into a box, right, and then I could reinstall it over here. In this game I have to deconstruct it down to components and then build a new one over here, which, I mean, functionally in the end it's the same thing, but with the putting things into a box option you have in RimWorld, it's less work intensive, it takes less time. It also means, like, if I deconstruct this, what's going to happen is somebody's then going to take the materials and they're going to put it into these storage bins, and then to build these, someone's going to run to the storage bins and pick up the materials again. Right, so there's an inefficiency and awkwardness there that, you know, just be nice if there wasn't. And I am going to leave that there for today, I think. If you're finding this information useful, if you're enjoying my commentary, hitting like and subscribe would be great. I'd appreciate it. And that is it for today.